Welcome to the Wrexham Coffee Matchup. I'm Dave.
And I'm Courtney. Each week, we'll take a few minutes to catch up on the latest news from Wrexham. From matchups to transfers, on and off the pitch, we'll share our takes on it all.
So grab a coffee and join us.
Dave, welcome back.
Hey, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm still riding the victory wave. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. So we'll say right off the bat, we had a very, very solid 2-0 victory against Stoke City yesterday.
Those were
Saturday.
like a very exciting 30 seconds.
A very exciting, maybe 45 seconds between the two goals. We'll get into that.
Okay, you're right.
But going into this, after we recorded last week, I saw a stat that had me a little nervous going into the match, because remember, Birmingham City was a must-win match that we didn't win, and then we're going into a Stoke City match, which is a must-win match, and I found out that we had played Stoke City 18 times competitively prior, and of those 18 times, we had only ever won once, and never at home. And I know that's not a reflection of where they are as a team right now and where we are as a team, but it's just that little bit of you that just gets a little nervous.
It does. And then do you remember what I said to you when you sent me that statistic?
No, what did you say? Yeah, remind me.
And now I'm hoping that I'm correct when I say this, but if I'm not, then I'm not. But I said, also Parky had never defeated Swansea.
Oh, that's true. And
until he did.
Until he did. Yeah. So, and that's a good thing. And then, of course, I think our nerves were then a little more heightened when the lineups came out.
Oh my gosh. Seeing Danny Ward, and it's not any reflection of him, but not seeing Arthur in the lineup for this match.
Yes. With
the record that Wrexham had being what it was, without having heard of an injury report.
Right. It was nerve-wracking, especially since we've been saying to each other over the last couple of weeks that even when other people are not always showing up, Arthur has been showing up, and he has grown leaps and bounds this season in just his skill and his ability. And like you said, it's not anything against Danny Ward, and I don't think we got a fair chance to see what he can really do in those 4 matches that he played at the beginning of the season. But it was definitely a shock to see that amongst the other lineup changes. And
I think as well, there were a lot of goals that were conceded in the several prior matches, but there were also many saved goals.
Yes,
because of Arthur. So that was the first surprise, and then and then Max on the bench this time, and he has played a lot of minutes, and I was happy to see him back, just because I do feel like we definitely missed him, and so I think that that's not like a big reflection of something positive or negative. It's just a fact of we still have a few more matches to go, and we just got to give it our all. And then really just a rejiggering of the front line, where they went with Smith, which okay, and Windass was back in the starting lineup, which made me very, very happy. And then they actually had Rathbone playing pretty much up front as well. And you're shaking your head. Look, I love that they had Maddie James and Sam Smith, and there were actually, I think quite early on, there was a Maddie James to Sam Smith. I think he was offsides in this particular instance. But like they had quite, a number of nice setups there in the early minutes of the match. So I loved that. I loved it when I saw it in the lineup. But I don't love an Ollie Rathbone start, and that's nothing against him. I feel like we don't always play 2 great halves of football.
Right.
And I like having him for the second half just in case.
Right. And I'd say that we didn't play 2 great halves. We played 1 really great half in the first half, and then we held on and played well in the second half, but I don't think that there was anything inspirational on either side. But it was interesting because I think we started off right off the bat with, we're going to have some ref issues in this match, as we've been having a lot. And what was it, 3 minutes in, and someone took down Sam Smith in the penalty box, and it wasn't called. And that was the first of how many times was he taken down and finally taken out as a result of a takedown towards the end of the match.
I mean, yeah.
And the offside.
We've also seen that. Yes. We've also seen many times, Kiefer Moore being taken down without a foul call. And you can't say like, oh, I didn't see it. I didn't see the 6'6" figure being dropped down to the ground. Like, anyways.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was tough. And so I felt like Smith didn't really get a chance to shine in the setup the way it was, because either they were just targeting him and taking him down. But we did see someone absolutely shine, and that's Josh Windass. I mean, he, at one point, he was on the left, and then a minute later, he was all the way on the right, and he was just like, he was playing that entire field. And I think
he had a great day.
He had a great day. And I guess like the most controversial question I could ask you is, how many goals did he score?
I don't think that, well, okay. It's not controversial for me. Not controversial for me. It's 2. And I remember watching the corner, and it everything was quite quick, and I could see that it went in, but it was so fast, and it was so much like almost out, right there at the end. I thought, all right, let me peel my eyes for this. And like, it was clear, number 10, like the head of player number 10 hit it in, and they were like, all right, George Thomason. And I kind of looked around to the nobody that I was watching the match with. And I thought, and then they replayed it again. And I thought, all right, let me watch a little closer. Yeah. I think that was Josh Windass.
Yeah. And then he posted overnight, a video clip from the reverse angle.
Okay.
That really shows his hair and the ball in contact.
The 2 key components.
So I think we both agree, that's 2 goals for Josh Windass.
Yeah.
And if you blinked, you missed the second one.
Yeah.
That was
that was one of those, like, it looked like it was slow motion, right? And I thought, that is gonna, there's not anything that the goalie can do about it.
Right. It was a beautiful goal, an absolutely beautiful goal. But like off the kickoff, right after the last goal, no one was ready on the other side. And he's like, we're going again. I think I didn't even have enough time to say anything to you before it was another point. Right. So that, now with us agreeing it was 2, that makes 14 goals in league competitions this year. Puts them up, I think it's 4th place, tied for 4th in the entire championship, which is just absolutely amazing. Nice. Yes. And still
not too shabby.
Not too shabby for someone who doesn't smile. But he gets the job done. That's all. He does really smile. Matters.
Anyways, I don't know why I defend him so much. Why I feel this need to defend him so much.
He just doesn't smile when he scores.
Different people can celebrate in different ways, including internally.
Yes, not internally. So I don't have much else to say about this match other than solid win. There was never a moment where I don't think it was in doubt that we were going to, once we had those 2 goals, it would have been nice to have gotten a third.
But I think as well, and I said this to you, I think it was towards the end of the first half, Stoke looked tired.
We definitely beat them down.
Yeah. They showed I don't even know who it was, but they showed a player as he was like getting ready to throw the ball in, and he just kind of did one of these. And I thought, man, I felt that in my bones.
Oh no.
So where are we now? How are we feeling? Where's the hope? Is it alive?
Oh, I think the hope
Does it have one foot in the grave?
I think the hope is more alive than it was last week. Right. I mean, if you look around us, because this is really 3 teams competing for 1 slot at this point.
Yeah.
So Hull City,
maybe 4,
but so Hull City, who's currently in 6th place, they drew at the last minute against Birmingham City, so they dropped 2 points, which was a big drop for them. And
That
good
was
for
a tough
us.
one to
And that
be
it
rooting
brought,
for Tom Brady's team.
I know, and they did at least pulled it out in the end. And then, but Derby County had a big win against Oxford United, and that brought them right up to 1 point behind us. And so, it's a
Who
really,
we play
really
next,
tight.
right?
Yeah, so we play them on Tuesday. So it's still really tightly packed in there. And if we look at sort of who's playing what next, um, so Hull City's playing Leicester City, who currently
Mm-hmm.
in 23rd. They're fighting against relegation. They're fighting against
Mm-hmm.
relegation for the second year in a row because they were
Yeah.
relegated from the Premier League last time. So they're going to come
That's
in. They're going to come in with fight. They're
yeah.
fighting to not get relegated. We're playing Oxford United, who's
That's not the kind of
also
back-to-back you want.
yeah, and we're playing Oxford United, who's also fighting against
Yeah.
relegation. So they're going to come in with everything that they've got going, So it's going to be some interesting, dynamic on Tuesday, and I think Tuesday's really going to let us know how big is the hope, right?
Yeah.
Is this just us being wishful thinking and that it's kind of out of reach, or is it still within reach and then we might make it to the playoffs?
I mean, I think the reality is that the number of points that separate these three teams, it's very small.
Right.
And there are still 3 matches. And I mean, we've seen crazy things. We've seen some very unexpected outcomes, especially in the last couple of weeks. So
Right. Yeah, it's like just like I said, it's so championship is so competitive. You can never write off anyone who's going to come in
mm-hmm.
and show up.
Mm-hmm.
So on Tuesday, the 21st of April, we have Oxford United. We're playing at Oxford. Then on Sunday, the 26th, we play Coventry in Coventry. Coventry's currently in first place. They've already secured their promotion. They know they're going up. The question is just, are they going to win the championship this year?
Mm-hmm.
There's a good chance that by next Sunday, they could have secured that victory
Mm-hmm.
and that could be their trophy raising celebration day. But we also have to remember that we have beat them this season. We're one of the few teams who have beaten them. So it doesn't mean that we can't just because
That's true.
they're up there. And then on Saturday the 2nd, we end the season with Middlesbrough
At home,
which is a great way to end at home. The energy will be amazing. And interestingly, I looked back and they just played this morning. They have not won a match since March 8th. So they have not won out of the last 7 matches. They have 3 losses and 4 draws. And so
I'm going to say, I really hope that one of the next, like that they win the next match that they play, right? Like get that
out of the way.
Check that off the list.
Because when they last won in March, they were in 2nd place. And so they've made their way down. A couple of weeks ago when we were looking at like who we wanted to kind of fail ahead of us, that wasn't necessarily the team that we were counting on. We were thinking more Hull.
No, we didn't think about that. Yeah.
So I think that each one of the 3 matches in its own way is matches that we can win. We can have a solid showing, but just can we put it together for 3 in a row?
Can we keep it together?
Together.
Okay. Love this team, obviously. 3 in a row would be great, but also like 2 halves in a row. We need a couple of those. We need like 6 halves in a row. That's what we need.
We just need from pedal to the metal from here on out through the rest of the season.
Exactly.
Yes. And again,
we'll repeat
the thing that everyone's repeating. If we don't make it, it's okay.
This has still been an incredible ride, and it means no VAR next year.
No VAR, and was it Cardiff City just secured promotion to the championship? Yep. So if we don't and we return to the championship next season, there will be 3 Welsh teams. So that would be a nice little interesting battle. There's
still lots of positives, regardless of the outcome. Yeah.
Yeah. So since we're kind of a little short this week, I just wanted to put a little shout out to one of our former Wrexham players who who I'm a big fan of because I have his jersey and everything. Jack Marriott, who moved on to Reading at the beginning of the season. And in the spell between when he moved to Reading and then I think it was around mid-January when he got injured, he was one of the leading scorers in all of the EFL. Scored
absolutely on fire.
16 goals for Reading in that window, quickly becoming a local hero to the team. Got injured. He then made his return to the team this weekend. 15 minutes back on the pitch. So a couple more matches to go. So hopefully he has a chance to like get back up to speed. But it's just great to see him recover like that, because remember his season last year with Wrexham was hampered by injury. Not even on the field, it was on the practice field when he kicked a sprinkler and broke his leg. It just threw him out, and he probably would have been one of the top scorers of the season last season. And so for him to find a new home and be excelling like that, I think it's just great to see. And so we wish him continued the best. So
really is.
Yes. And then so let's hang in there for Tuesday. Hang in there for next Saturday. Talk about. And then we'll have two matches to talk about. And we might, our hope might be even more on fire, or our hope might be dwindled, but we'll still have a lot to talk about for sure.
Well, I've got black that I can wear.
It's just let's hope they move Ollie Rathbone to the second half, and then you'll feel better about the whole thing. So,
I mean, I really would, but let's see. Not my choice.
Okay. We'll
I don't know as much as Parky does. I'll admit that.
All right.
Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for joining us this week. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
You can also email us at wxmcoffeematchup@gmail.com. All one word. That's wxmcoffeematchup@gmail.com. Or you can follow us on Instagram and Blue Sky at wxmcoffeematchup.
From the cop to your coffee cup, that's all for today's Wrexham Coffee Matchup. Keep it brewing, keep it red, and as always, up the town.